guys have been super busy, so that'll be very exciting to hear everything that's been going on. Some other things that have been going on campus, there's a master plan initiative kind of going on currently. So there have been quite a few updates on that, although that's in kind of its early stages. The student centers, they're looking to revamp or rebuild. So there was the first meeting, the first architectural meeting for that 2 weeks ago. That's also very much in its early stages, and I would definitely keep you updated on that. And then the VP of Student Life Search is in full swing. Today was the first candidate, their kind of open forum, and so that is the interim VP, currently Jose Riera. And so the next two will be Monday and then Wednesday, and I cannot say currently who the candidates are, but if anyone's interested, I would definitely look out for any UDEL updates for when it kind of announces, because that's when the public knowledge. That's when I'm allowed to tell you what goes on. Otherwise, it's so. And that's about it. So thank you.
I'm gonna try to use this thing. Does it work? No. Okay. Oh, a little bit. All right, there we go. I just want our cameras to be able to hear us. If you guys haven't heard, Brennan is piloting a UD-SPAN thing today. It's similar to C-SPAN. So the Senate is actually going to be broadcast on our website. Also, I'd like to point out someone new. I don't think you guys have met him yet. Tony is in the back. He is our new director of the student centers, and he is also our new advisor, so definitely get to know him. He's a great resource. Okay, and then we're going to also hear from Shannon on an update about the Newark City Council meetings. So Shannon, come on up again.
I can talk loud so I don't feel the microphone. So Megan and I, she can't be here, she has class today. We've gone to 3 city council meetings. They happen every other Monday, excuse me, the 2nd and the 4th. And so, first one was a big budget hearing for, God only knows, it was 3 hours long. So if you want to know about the amount of money the sewer department has, let me know, I took notes on that. But some more interesting things that pertain to us. Right now, if you live off campus and you call the city for a bulk pickup, like if you want to get rid of a couch, they'll come and do it for free. But they fear that students are sometimes taking advantage of that during move-in, move-out times. So they're considering adding a tax for coming to pick things up. They really want to take advantage of the "you don't need it" service here. They're also looking into changing the time on the crosswalk at East Delaware. They'll be doing that during winter session, adding a couple more seconds for the walking time, so people don't have to rush and jaywalk. Then another really awesome program is the Newark Futures program. The next open meeting is in December, but basically they want to have input from students on the city and what's going on in our neighborhood, because they're looking into creating the Downtown Newark Partnership, which is basically like a Chamber of Commerce type thing. It's not exactly, but it's pretty much what they're aiming for. So they're really interested in having students' input. Other than that, not too much exciting stuff, lots of government and red tape, but it's awesome. So if anyone ever has anything that you would like me and Megan to bring up to the council, don't hesitate to reach out. We're more than happy to bring your concerns up at the city.
Thanks so much, Shannon. Okay, now we're going to hear from Nick Mackus about what's going on in Faculty Senate. That was also a good 3-hour meeting that we sat through.
No, Faculty Senate was, it was a lot of just procedural matters for this one. So they passed 6 proposals. All of those pertain to the faculty handbook and just small changes there. Nothing that actually directly affected students at all. The only thing that kind of would affect us maybe a little bit was the part where they were adding about attendance. So it was requiring that the professors have attendance of their students that don't show up to anything, just for different academic or economic reasons. And I think the registrar needed that information. So it's not really gonna hurt us or help us, it's just something that might be happening. They also talked about and highlighted the Blue Hen Success Collaborative, which is something that we've been working on for the administration to kind of help students be successful while they're here at the University of Delaware and lead them into the future. They said that we actually were a winner, one of 5 schools out of 240 applicants this year, so that just shows that it's working. That's everything from working through career services all the way down to advising. And then the last thing, I just want to mention our committee assignments. So Corinne and I sat down and we went through the committees and we assigned some of you guys to those. The committees are things basically where there are members of the Faculty Senate as well as some students that will sit down and discuss specific things about the school. They meet pretty much as needed. So you guys, if you hadn't already gotten information, somebody will be reaching out to you if you were chosen for one of those. And I just ask that maybe this year we take it very seriously. My new role as the Faculty Affairs Senator will allow a streamlined process where we can actually work with the faculty. So those committees are definitely a huge point there. And definitely when it comes to passing proposals, we can dream big this year. Let's go for it. We met with the Faculty Senate President and he was all for allowing the SGA to push legislation through Faculty Senate, through my position. So if you think something is too big, it's probably not. So let's get behind it, let's work on it. As long as we have some research to back it up, I think we can make some great things happen this year. That's all for Faculty Senate.
All right, thanks, Nick. Also, just to clarify, the part about the attendance is it only really applies to you if you never show up to class. So just go to class. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about our caucus structure. This is definitely new for all of you, and this was kind of put in place last fall by Kevin. So essentially what we want to do is just increase collaboration between the branches. So as you know, we have 3 branches: judicial, legislative, and external. And you know, people from judicial or external may not necessarily produce legislation themselves, but they certainly have great ideas. So we just kind of wanted to bring everyone together so that you can get the ideas flowing and just work together on ideas. So following the Senate, you're going to receive a quick survey just asking you which caucus you would like to be in. Within your caucus, you will then elect a caucus chair who will kind of, whose job is to aid collaboration between caucus members. Definitely bring up anything you're working on in terms of legislation in your caucus to get some help, some more ideas. Because in the past, we've kind of had issues where people were necessarily working on the same thing, but just didn't know. So we're going to try and employ this more successfully this semester. So there are 3 longstanding caucuses and an unknown number of ad hoc caucuses. So this is just essentially saying that if there's a situation that needs its own caucus to deal with it, we will create one. We actually have one right now that's standing, which is the elections caucus, because we're thinking about amending how we do spring elections and fall. So all senators, committee members are welcome to be in a caucus. You can be in multiple caucuses, you don't have to choose one. It'll be chaired by a member of the caucus, and you guys will report to me. You just set legislative goals and organize meetings and kind of keep track of your attendance and who's really showing up to them. So as I said, our ad hoc caucus is the elections caucus. If you are new and you want to join that, just let Nick Mackus know. I believe he's on that caucus as well as Shane. Are you on? Yes, okay. So just talk to either Shane or Nick. We have a student wellness caucus, and if you're interested in student health, student counseling, disability services, sexual assault prevention, definitely check that one out. We also have campus enrichment, which is sort of sustainability, like safety, building restoration, etc. There's a lot of things that fall under those 2 caucuses, and then we also have diversity and inclusion caucus, and this is just essentially to improve resources and serve kind of as a liaison to the Multicultural Center. All right, so this is the fun part. I'm still kind of learning. As you guys saw at our spring Senate, it was a little bit of a mess, but this one will not be. So we kind of operate under what's called Robert's Rules here in the Senate. There are certain voting procedures that you have to follow just to keep it orderly in case there's any controversial discussion. I don't think there will be today. So to begin a discussion about a proposal that is on the agenda, someone has to move to discuss, which is then followed by second. And then once the discussion is adjourned, someone will move to vote second, and then everyone will vote by raising their placards. In most cases, proposals pass by majority vote, but some that change the Constitution have to pass by 2/3 vote. So we have the first proposal up tonight, and this is by the caucus. This is just for spring appointments, and I realize that this is very blurry and you probably cannot read it, but it was sent out in the agenda. So if the cabinet would like to come up and we can read this proposal, and we can vote on it now.
And also, there's one little rules issue. So because this didn't pass in the spring, if you're not a student or academic affairs senator, you can't vote for this one. You can vote for all the rest of the legislation once this is passed, but only student and academic affairs senators can vote on this bill.
Yeah, just because of the timing. So, Brennan, you want to read this?
Hey everybody, thank you for openly participating against your will to be on our SGA live stream. Pretty excited about it. And alright, so let's just get started. Whereas, as specified in the Constitution and bylaws, the President has the right to appoint any full-time undergraduate student with the approval of the legislature to vacant a position. And whereas the appointment of qualified individuals to vacant seats will allow the organization to better carry out organizational responsibilities throughout the year. Therefore, be it resolved that Julia Rowland, Jamie Renman, Jacob Lenson are appointed as programming senators. And be it further resolved that Chloe Beauchamp, Christine McCann, Emily Sousa, Mark Jackson, and Sunny Ray are appointed as public relations senators. And be it further resolved that Jacob Wasserman and Regina Rubino, sorry about that, are appointed as judicial affairs senators. And be it further resolved that Megan Mullenix and Shannon Fredericks are appointed as governmental affairs senators. And be it even further resolved that Ryan McGovern and Caroline Ross are appointed as our 2 new IT senators. Be it further resolved that Nicholas Mackis is appointed as faculty affairs senator, and be it further resolved that Claudia Bacon is appointed as chief of staff.
So, is there a motion to vote? Second? Okay, all those in favor, please raise your placards. Okay, all opposed? All abstaining? All right, in the opinion of the speaker, this motion is passed. So yay, we're all in. All right, thank you guys for bearing with us on that one. Okay, so the next appointment we have actually has to pass by 2/3 vote because we are changing the Constitution and the addition of 2 IT senators. So Gianna, you can go ahead and read that one.
So this is about the IT senator. Whereas, as specified in the Constitution and bylaws, the IT senator is responsible for any updates or changes to the official Student Government Association website and for helping solve technological related problems with official social media accounts. And whereas, the student government website and official social media accounts require a high level of expertise to be properly maintained and updated throughout the academic year. And whereas, the Student Government Association external branch would benefit from an additional member dedicated to the roles fulfilled by an IT senator, therefore be it resolved that the Student Government Association creates an additional IT senator to be appointed in the spring semester.
So we're essentially voting on the addition of 1 additional IT senator to help with our website. So do I have a motion to vote? Second? Okay, all in favor? Okay, all opposed? All abstaining? All right, again, in the opinion of the speaker, this motion is passed. Yay. Okay. Yeah, 1 more. 2 more, sorry. Okay.
All right, so just like a little explanation before I read this one out. Right now, our treasurer position is located in our external branch, and our external branch is more like our public relations and programming, so it doesn't really seem right that it's there. We kind of feel like it should be
moved into the executive cabinet. Joe right now is our treasurer. He meets with us at all of our cabinet meetings. He does basically everything else that everyone in the executive cabinet does. So this is basically a proposal to change it in the Constitution. So again, we're gonna need 2/3 majority in order for it to pass. So basically, we just wanna move the treasurer from the external branch to the executive cabinet. All right, so now I'm gonna read the official. So whereas, as specified in the Constitution and bylaws, the treasurer is a member of the external branch who is responsible for the allocation of student government funds and maintaining official records of all SGA expenses and donations. And whereas, the role of treasurer requires a high level of financial expertise and direct communication with the executive cabinet. And whereas, the student government needs a treasurer that has a single focus of overseeing its financial responsibilities as a registered student organization. And whereas, SGA would benefit from the movement of the treasurer position from the external branch to the executive cabinet, therefore be it resolved that the SGA appoints the treasurer a non-voting member of the executive cabinet in the spring semester, and be it further resolved that the treasurer does not require a prior term within SGA. Okay, so this is just adding Joe, our treasurer, to the cabinet, which is again changing the Constitution. So is there a motion to vote? Second. Okay, all in favor? All opposed? All abstaining? All right, again, in the opinion of the speaker, this motion is passed. Okay, you guys can go ahead and have a seat. Okay, last one, and again, you cannot read it, so I will. So this is a proposal I actually worked on individually, and the cabinet helped me out a lot with it. As you guys know, it's midterm season, or at least I hope you know that. So we'll be voting on senators that are up for re-election in all of the 50 seats. Is it 51? I don't know. Okay. We're good. But okay, so apparently Student Central website, which we're all familiar with, you all log in there to sign up for RSOs, get updates about events happening, has an option to link TurboVote, which is a platform that assists people in elections reminders and signing up to register to vote. So we can actually like turn on a switch that will prompt people to register to vote or register with TurboVote as they log into their Student Central website. So I thought this was a good idea. A lot of freshmen that come to the University of Delaware actually are not registered to vote. And so by signing in through the Student Central website, they have the option to register for TurboVote, but I just want to make it clear that this is not registering to vote. You have the option to register to vote through TurboVote, but signing up for TurboVote is not actually registering itself, which is like an important law, so I just wanted to clarify that. So I will read the official proposal. Okay. Whereas, as specified in the Constitution, the Student Government Association is determined to enhance student life by actively addressing student issues and to assist in the mission of creating an engaged campus. And whereas the Constitution also states that Student Government Association strives to foster a unified university community as a leading influence, encouraging all students to be heard. And whereas the opportunity to promote and encourage civic engagement would be beneficial to the student body, therefore, be it resolved, the Student Central page will have a link to provide access to TurboVote, which helps with voter registration and other civic engagement opportunities. Therefore, be it further resolved that the TurboVote link will be available to all students indefinitely, which will allow students present and future the opportunity to be active and engaged citizens. So I don't know if anyone has any questions about this, but do we have a motion to discuss? Kevin? Second? Okay, go ahead.
This was done with somewhat collaboration with the Make It Count campaign and Biden Institute, correct?
Yes, that's correct. So we kind of collabed with the Make It Count campaign, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with, because their goal essentially on campus is to like get out the word about midterms and increase civic engagement on campus. We're actually one of the more engaged campuses in the U.S. However, I think it's only like 56% of the student body voted in the last election. So we thought this would be a good idea. The link is actually turned on now, and this proposal is to reserve it to be turned on indefinitely, no matter if it's an election year or not.
Motion to vote?
Okay, second. Okay, all in favor? All opposed? All abstaining? All right, in the opinion of the speaker, this motion is passed. Okay, now we have announcements. This is moving by really fast. Does anyone else feel like this is moving fast? Okay, just me. All right, so as you know, this Sunday we have our big event at Milburn Orchards. It's kind of a tradition in SGA and it's really fun, so I definitely recommend that you come. We're all going to be carpooling from the Trevant Garage at 5:30, and we're going to be having cider, hayride, donuts. It's going to be a lot of fun, so definitely recommend that you come. Our next meeting is our October monthly, which is in the same room on October 24th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. We typically have a speaker at this event, so business professional attire is still required. And then also we have some events coming up. One of the bigger ones, which is the living room conversation event with the Biden Institute's Make It Count campaign. This is a really big event for us, and we really want people to get out and promote this event and attend. We'll definitely be needing volunteers, so I will be sending out a sign-up sheet for that later on. Keep your eyes out for that. And just as a reminder, every student government senator is required to attend 2 events a year, to volunteer at 2 events a year, so you definitely want to get that out of the way early rather than around finals week time. And Brennan, I believe you wanted to come up and say something, correct?
Yes. All right, so everybody has their smartphones with them right now. At least I hope so, right? So me and the kid genius Nicholas Mackus came up with something very interesting. So in order to enhance our reach on student government, I was wondering if at all possible I could ask you guys to send an invite to some of your friends on our Facebook page, or all your friends, like just press select all, and just so we can get more foot traffic on our page. Because right now, like all the people that like our page, they graduated here like 3 years ago. So everything that we post is just not relevant anymore. So if you guys could do me a favor and help me out on that, greatly appreciate it. Also, if you guys ever want anything, any kind of idea with an event, I know Emily Sousa has already reached out to me, and we've been in discussions about a really cool event that she had in mind, and as well as Sunny. And so anybody in any branch, if you ever want anything, you know, to see it done or whatever, don't hesitate at all. I'm always here for you, and that's about it. Yeah.
Thanks, Brennan. Yeah, we're really just striving to make communications in SGA a lot more clear this year and transparent, which is why we're kind of doing the live streaming and then more updates on our social media. So definitely invite all your friends to like our Facebook page. And so then every Senate, we have a recognition bucket, although it's not a bucket today, where we just kind of recognize a senator that's been doing some great work and kind of give them a little reward for it. And so I believe this week's is in Gianna's branch. So Gianna, if you want to come up. All right, so my branch has been really amazing in getting started, and as you heard from the person who's getting the recognition bucket tonight, which is Shannon, they've been really amazing in meeting with all of our city council meetings. They've been meeting with city council members outside all throughout the week. Megan and Shannon have worked really hard together, and I really want to recognize Shannon because she's just really been on top of everything. She's emailed me about all city council meetings, and they really have been a great presence for SGA at city council representing the students. And they're just absolutely amazing, and they make me look really good. So, Shannon, I want to give you the recognition bucket tonight. So, Shannon, you can just, oh, okay. We actually have some more stuff for you, too, so yes. We'll talk after. All right. Also, I just wanted to add that Kevin mentioned this, the VP of Student Life search is going on right now, and a couple of us are actually heading to the President's house this evening for dinner and to meet with him. So please, we want your opinions. We want what you want in a VP of Student Life. So if you have any ideas or want us to mention anything, please come up to us at the end. Additionally, for anyone else that's here as a guest or for anyone that's watching online, feel free to email us or reach out to us on any of our social media sites and give us your feedback as well. Okay, so now I will turn the floor over to you guys. Do you have any questions, anything to say? Shane?
I mentioned this to the legislative branch, but I'm gonna get started on the UD app. It's like my year-long goal for this year.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna be doing like a brainstorming session tomorrow at 3:30 in the SGA office. So that's open to anybody that has any ideas. If there's anything you'd like to see in the app, talk to me after, shoot me a text, email me. All suggestions will be appreciated.
Okay. Thanks, Shane. Does anyone else have anything for us?
I also just wanted to say, so for the three presentations that go on at Senate, if there are any questions that you guys have, always feel free to raise your hand, stop us in the middle, because it's not just supposed to be like us reporting on whatever. We're trying to kind of create more of a dialogue so that when we go back to follow-up meetings, we can ask and bring up some of the concerns that you guys have.
Yep, you guys are definitely representatives of the student body, of your respective colleges, so if there's anything even your classmates are saying that needs to be heard, definitely bring it up during these Senate meetings. And with that, I think that's all I have. Emily, did you have a? No? Oh, okay. Yeah.
This may be a dumb question, but what does the VP of Student Life do? Like, what are we looking for a person to do?
Right, okay. Kevin, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. All right. I'm definitely going to forget every department, but really the VP of Student Life does most of the stuff that's not athletics or academics. So it's housing, like food, dining, student centers, any kind of crisis management. So if you have to go to the Dean of Students, that falls under his department. Trying to think, Tony, can you think of anything else off the top of your head? Oh, health, mental health, counseling.
Diversity and inclusion.
Yes, diversity and inclusion. And so really, they kind of act as the umbrella for any non-academic or athletic kind of issues on campus. They're changing up the VP position this year. So in the past, VP of Student Life has kind of served directly beneath the provost. This year, or I guess with the new hire, they're elevating the position up to the president's executive cabinet. So they'll report directly to the president. They'll still be working with the provost's office a lot. And the provost is the chief academic kind of person. So basically all the deans report to the provost, in case anyone's wondering. And so that'll be a big change. I know also a lot of the issues that have been happening with kind of dining and housing kind of arises from the fact that it technically falls under student life, but it has to do a lot with stuff with actual physical buildings and capital, and that's historically fallen under facilities. And so they're kind of pulling that out from underneath facilities and moving more of the budgeting towards the student life office, so that there's more of a cohesive kind of drive and push within especially dining, because Aramark is the dining company or the contractor that kind of provides dining at UD. The contract expires in 3 years. So this is around the time when the university starts to renegotiate that process or renegotiate a new contract. And so that with the dining moving more underneath the VP of Student Life, they're really hoping to kind of create a contract with either Aramark or another food distribution company that's kind of a bit more fair to students, not as strict, especially with registered student organizations and whatnot. I hope I covered all the bits.
All right, so again, any ideas, just speak up. And then I'd just like to ask if there's any new business that anyone would like to bring to the floor.
So the of my TAs, unfortunately, she was hit by a car on, I think, East Delaware over the weekend. So we were talking in my class about kind of like, we see that there's a lot of like traffic around Newark, especially on College Ave and like Academy Street, depending on the time of the day. And, like we see people jaywalking, it's unsafe, but like some of us may have jaywalked before, I've jaywalked before. Kind of like because we're in such a rush to get places, but also people that are driving through Newark are in a rush to get to where they need to go. So I guess like what I'm trying to get at is if like anybody has any ideas about how we can like make at least our UD community safer for students that are walking back and forth, like whether that be, I know Shannon, did you talk about extending the light or the crosswalk time? Yeah, so maybe like doing stuff like that or adding more crosswalks or stoplights or officers around the campus just to like make it safer, because my professor, she had mentioned that this is kind of like a common occurrence on our campus, which I wasn't too aware of, probably why I've been jaywalking. But like if we can make like the student body more aware that this is like an actual problem, and then what can we as like SGA do to kind of resolve this issue, or at least make it less prevalent.
Yep, that's a great comment. Sunny, did you have something to add?
Yeah, there's like two things that I think of. One of the solutions that I went to New York this summer, and jaywalking is huge there, and one of the solutions that NYU does is they made a lot of like overpasses. Like, so you don't really have to stop walking. It's like the staircase thing that's like above the street. And like they just made those, so people didn't have to stop walking, but they could still like, if you're not like in danger. And then an idea to like, because you also brought up like how we could, as a student body, make it like more prevalent or more known, is gathering facts and statistics of all the accidents caused by jaywalking in like the last 5 years. So we had a correlation of increases. Make a 1 minute kind of scary video. And put that on our Facebook or something.
So those are great ideas.
So I definitely agree with Elaine. I think that our university definitely should invest more time and money into crosswalks. I've seen students also shop when it's get classes to get to, so spending the time would be great. With Sunny's point on doing overpass, I understand that there might be concern for construction and investing, that might be a concern. So maybe like establishing more crosswalks might be a good idea that I think would be quicker and less costly, but we should still.
And just, sorry, for the sake of time, I'm just going to suggest that everyone that has any ideas about the crosswalk thing definitely join together at the end of Senate, and then also once we establish the caucuses, bring it up then. So these are great ideas, and you can definitely work with judicial senators that are at the New York City Council meetings to kind of fix this, so.
If I could just,
Yeah.
I'll make this very brief. I know we passed cabinets, and myself included at Board of Trustees meetings, we brought up kind of transportation infrastructure at UD being really lacking. And some board members are quite receptive, some administrators are quite receptive, but others aren't. So I think it's just kind of really, it would be very helpful to just continually push the message of, no, you're not doing enough in the areas of parking, busing, crosswalks, anything like that. And also another quick add, I know that student conduct, which also falls under student life, they also implemented a new program for students who are found jaywalking. Instead of paying a fine, I think it's a short class with some kind of write-up. So.
Right, I think you're referring to the Office of Student Conduct, which just went in effect October 1st, I believe. So not only do you have a fine now, but you have to attend a class. So, I mean, yeah, UDPD that's their approach to the issue, and so student government, if you guys are interested, should definitely work on our approach. So with that, if there's no more new business, does anyone have a motion to adjourn? Shane, second. Okay, and the opinion of the speaker, this meeting is adjourned.
That's it, huh? Big time through COVID.
I have a question. So, you know how like the packaging center is in Vermont, and that's far for a lot of freshmen?
Yeah.
What about having packaging in because the way that like sometimes like people get like really big packages to Javon, but then like so many people live on each campus, like that, like you know, Javon's supposed to like central.
I know that Gil Johnson is senior associate director for events and facilities. He's been talking with the package folks about another solution. So they've actually gone to other schools to see if there are other solutions. And there are both indoor and outdoor solutions that where you can have they're covered spaces, they're not living in spaces. They're working on other centers and you get code and they've got all different sizes. So you can get a
So like an Amazon locker kind of like deal,
but bigger.
or okay. So yeah.
So they're okay. They're having conversations. Frankly, because we would love to get space back
program, yeah, I mean, program kind of just like, yeah.
So if we get that space back and find another solution for them, I don't know whether we would put them inside programs. We're actually going through that space study right now.
What about like the basement? Like, is there any spaces in the basement for?
So you're talking about where the cages are? The basement essentially is so that would be, if you put it down the middle of the senior organization space, it would require us to suggest
Upstairs on the third floor? Second floor, third floor?
Second floor is not Grease Flags.
Not Grease Flags.
Well, it was always Grease Flags, but it's came up on the problem. Third floor are 3M student organizations, they have counseling, it's got a counseling session that's being used all day.
Like UDEL?
Right, UDEL. And then there's a performance, like a rehearsal studio space with a mirror and a big floor that doesn't have a lot of use. So a lot of people look for that space, and I've had them run the numbers, like they between 2 and 500 dollars and mostly by students per year.
So, what about any other buildings on East Campus that are like, East Campus. I live in South Central. I live in Cedar Rapids.
Is it basically run?
There's, I mean, like, there's, there's that, like, I mean, what are the buildings that are around, like, the police station? So, like, there's that one dance studio that's over there.
I mean, you're identifying some good spaces. That student center study is coming through in 3 weeks, and student government has a 45-minute session to identify space needs for student government, but you could bring up other space needs as well. And then what they're going to do is they're going to take all the space needs from student organizations, from current users like packaging, and they're going to kind of spit out a recommendation for how they would organize the space, how they would add space, how they would essentially tear down space and replace it with space.
But an outdoor space sounds really nice. Probably in the back.
Yeah, so I came from Rutgers, and they had. Are you from Jersey?
Yeah.
What part?
I'm from South Jersey, Gloucester County.
I was born in Friends, which is North Carolina.
Yeah, I was actually born in Livingston.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's not far from kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
So that's one of the outdoor spaces I think they were looking at, and it was a huge covered space. Like I said, so it was like an Amazon but on steroids. So you put in your code, and it was accessible, and it had cameras on, public safety cameras on it, so you could get to it 24/7. You didn't have to worry about the building being open. But we've been talking about adjacencies and how the campus central has really moved more towards programs. So what do we need to, what else, like we have a leadership program, we're trying to go over the Perkins as well. Because that's really,
It's really the only like RSO that's really kind of just over there. Yeah, I noticed
it's
that.
it's an island unto itself.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and Trevant, through again, the one session that we brought people in for, everyone thinks it's kind of a transactional, it becomes a ghost town at that point, right? There's not a whole lot going on because there are no student organizations.
Yeah.
Okay, because
So
I mean,
I think it's a good conversation to have. If I had a product giving me cards, but it's just TZOOD.
I can just search up your name.
okay,
Usually when I do that. I usually search up my name. So yeah.
So keep sending me ideas, and then I will start to go look at the space because, like I said,
Yeah.
I had to look up how to get to this space because I haven't gotten a complete campus tour of every space.
Yeah. But it's like something that I've just gotten from like, because I lived in Thompson. Thompson's right next to Perkins, and I live again right next to Perkins.
So you got
So
all the way over.
yeah, so I've just gotten that like so many times, like from my residence now, and from like just being like.
Does that sound like, would that be a viable solution?
Oh yeah, I
for
use
an
the
outdoor
Amazon
space?
locker all the I purposely buy from Amazon so that I can use the Amazon locker because I don't want to, like, half my packages never went to my dorm, it always went to Trevant.
I had the same issue when I was a student. There were 5 campuses that were close, and I lived at one campus across the river, and all the packages came to the central campus, and like, this isn't convenient.
Yeah. And all the North Campus packages go to Christiana, and like Christiana's right next to so.
I think it's.
Yeah, but I'm definitely the same boat.
I don't know that we can affect it as
No
students
problem at all.
in
Thank you so much.
certainly the first space, because packaging doesn't report through the student auxiliary.
Yeah.
But I think it's something that Senate could push for to advocate.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'll look around like at spaces around here because I know like the dance studio. Nobody really uses that dance studio that
Really?
much.
There's a dance studio, like performing groups are dying to get space. Athletic, like the cheer team and the dance team, have come to these
It's a pretty
sessions.
old building.
What is their space?
Yeah,
Does it have a mirror? Does it have a wood floor?
Yeah, like there's this
Oh,
one
you've
room
got
that just
these
has
in
like.
the town. No, really? We'll
like
figure out how to get it in our reservation system.
Because I walked in there one time because I had to go do practice for a pageant, and like one of my friends was like a senior, and we were just like, okay, let's go here, and it's like right there, so you know. It's a good building. But yeah, there's a lot of buildings like around. Nobody really knows what's in there, but like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you've got the other spaces down. What year are you?
I'm a sophomore.
Oh, and you've already got all these spaces. I love it. I love it. So you have aspirations for student government?
Yeah, I actually really do want to be president by my senior year. So.
Say so much.
Well, I've asked Kevin, we are taking,
I really want to do it.
so part of the student center
And like a
study,
bunch of other influential speakers.
we'll be doing a survey of the whole student body. We have these multiple sessions with this architectural firm, but we're also taking tours of other university centers. So in a few weeks, we're going on a tour to Kentucky, Ohio State, Cincinnati, Ohio Athens, which is different from the Ohio side. And then in January, we're going to Carolina, North Carolina.
And I don't want to do like a sales pitch. Like I want him to talk about.
Essentially, to go tour the campus, tour the facilities, but also have peers connect with peers. So students will
It'll
connect
take
with
a long
student
time.
leaders,
It'll take
or
like
connect with my colleagues.
like you get to build
So I've
your
asked Kevin
contacts and like this speaker's coming.
for
you
4
come too.
student government
You're
groups
up the ladder.
for this upcoming
And it's like,
round, and I said that I would really like, I don't want 4 people who are graduating next year, because this is a long haul
Yeah,
process.
like it's a
So maybe go talk to them and say, hey, if you're looking for people to go on this road, if you're interested.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Ideally, a sophomore who can continue
Yeah, I
a
mean, I'm
sustained,
totally for it. Yeah.
conversation and advocate if that's what.
I'm sorry, I wish I could
More package
say
center.
like more, but
Ideally, we'd be looking for more space for students. student organizations, meeting groups, like we were overflowing.
So do you guys like plan on like building on top of, like not on top of this, but like next to Perkins? Like, I mean, there isn't
The
much
mechanical
room.
systems in Perkins are really, and have not been changed since, so they will do a cost evaluation study to see this is what it would cost to rip up the basements and change out all those mechanical systems, the foundation. They did another study back in 2009 for dining, and as part of that, the state of the facility and the foundation is cracking. It's in bad shape. So the firm should be making a recommendation of this is what it would take to fix it, to maintain it. This would be a cost to knock it down and start all over again. And this would be a cost to add, to renovate, add on up or out.
Just took a selfie with him. He's so famous.
It's an old building, past its use cycle.
But Perkins doesn't even, it doesn't look that old.
We were talking with oh my god.
It was 1956. You see a few of the lounges
Yeah,
have been updated. But it doesn't function. Have you been in other student unions? Student centers? Like, it doesn't function like a student union. It's kind of a maze and a web, and that second, third floor that you're talking about is a very
Oh yeah, yeah. 'Cause I just went to the third floor today for you guys, and I was just like, this is
Reminds me
totally
of the old
different.
elementary school, like the way it's structured with the hallway.
Yeah.
And that's why we're trying to get students to come look at other student centers, because that is not what a lot of universities have. They have these big open spaces, they have dedicated lounges that don't get co-opted for programming spaces, like often the West Lounge does for programming, or all the lounges. There's never a lounge
Yeah, there isn't a lounge that's like
always a lounge.
Yeah.
So
That's the one that's like right across from the Dunkin'.
yeah, it used to be, I understand it used to be the bookstore.
Really?
Yeah. So that's the part that was renovated. Fairly recently, it used to be the bookstore. Yeah, we'll see what comes up with the study, but it would be great to have up and comers who are invested and aspire to be president someday, be part of the conversation now.
Yeah, I'll go talk to him right now.
Thank
you so much. Yeah.
And that's why I want to do an event with a major name to get everyone to reach. Because I think it's like everyone, not because the next they just bring people down to
You're gonna be a good citizen.
But I'm interested for sure.
Okay.
We can talk more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next week is 3 exams.
So sometime this week, we'll try and get together in the SGA office.
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Just text us.
Okay. So yeah.
So is it recorded?
Yes, it's all here.
Hi, my name is Lily. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Sunny.
And you're the new student.
Student Center.